What's going on, guys? Welcome back to What Cheers. I'm Nick, and tonight I have a review that I'm super excited about. I don't usually get this excited or amped up before the review, but I am really anticipating an epic beer here tonight. This is, as you see in the description, this is the Maine Beer Company Dinner Double IPA. This is a pretty big deal for them, and it's been a long time coming to make this beer, from what I understand. Most of you have probably heard of their Lunch IPA, which is their single IPA that is very well known now. It's one of those kind of hyped beers. It flies off the shelf. It doesn't last more than a day or whatever before it sells out, and so it's been that way for a very long time with that beer. Beer geeks know it, they trade for it, and it's just one of those things. It is one of the best single IPAs, in my opinion, in the country. It's in the top 20 on BeerAdvocate, top 15 I think. So it's one of those very highly sought after IPAs. So back in 2012 I actually saw they posted a label on Beer Pulse or whatever for the dinner, and I thought it was coming out like way back when, in the end of 2012, but it turned out to just be like a pilot batch. Like, it never was released, and so I never knew what happened to the beer, and we never saw it. Obviously that was going to be like a huge release because of how popular Lunch was at the time and still is. So I just got back from California and I went on the BeerAdvocate New England forum and saw that they were releasing Dinner. Very silently, very out of the blue. They just said, hey, it's coming out, and it's coming out tomorrow. So I found out about that the day I got back. The day I got back was the day they actually released it, which was only a few days ago. This is the 15th, I think, and it was released on the 11th. So as soon as I found out about it, I tried to work out a trade, because the deal with it was it's their first ever brewery-only release, their first ever double IPA. It was a limit 4 bottles per person, and it sold out in 2 days. So with all those things combined, they automatically made it a very highly sought after, super limited release. So what this beer is, basically, it's not exactly a double version of Lunch. I looked at the stats. The only thing they have in common is they both use Simcoe hops and a couple of the malts, but it's definitely not like just an amped up version of Lunch or anything like that. It's actually pretty much a different beer altogether, different hops. So I'll give you a little bit of information about the beer real quick. They are very serious about this beer being drank fresh, which is why I'm drinking it right now before I actually go somewhere. But I don't want to waste any more time without actually cracking one of these open. Right on the front, it says in big letters, drink fresh, do not age at all, enjoy this beer fresh, hoppy beers do not age well. That's like way more than they put on all their other beers. They mean it. They really want you to enjoy this beer the way that it's meant to be enjoyed, which is immediately. Basically, like getting it on draft, they want it to be like straight from the tap. And then on the back again, it says, our double IPA, drink this the day you buy it, drink this fresh, meant to be consumed immediately, please. So they're really not kidding about this one, and I don't blame them, because most times people are trading, it goes all over the country, the beer is never as good as it was meant to be consumed. So yeah, they don't even tell you anything about the beer other than all about drinking it fresh and that it's their double IPA. So today is the 15th of March, and this was bottled on the 11th, brought straight down to me, kept cold the entire time, and so it's only 4 days old from bottling, guys. That's incredibly fresh. It's ridiculous. And it's the one and only batch of this beer that they're going to do. On the Facebook page, they said it was a one-time only release, never to be done again. So that makes it even more special than it already is. Comes in at 8.2% alcohol by volume, and before I crack this baby open, One more thing I just want to tell you guys is the hops that they used in this as opposed to the lunch. So the stats on the dinner, straight from their website, it says, our first double IPA, dry, refreshing, and hoppy. We really focused on hop flavor and aroma here. To maximize hop character, we dry hop dinner twice with over 6 pounds of hops per barrel, which is crazy. For the best experience, please enjoy fresh as possible. Obviously, they have it all over the label. They want you to drink it now. It says it's got, okay, it was hopped with Citra, Falconer's Flight, Mosaic, and Simcoe. And the lunch was hopped with Warrior, Amarillo, Centennial, and Simcoe. So totally different, hops, totally different character to that beer. I'm sure that's going to come out pretty intensely in the dinner. Lunch is one of my favorite single IPAs. It's very clean and refreshing and juicy, and it's always been a really, really solid example of a exceptionally well-made American-style IPA. So I have very, very high expectations for the dinner. I don't think it's going to disappoint, especially with them making it such a limited, one-time only release and brewery only. All that being said, guys, I am sorry. Let's get into this damn beer because I cannot fucking wait. Alright guys, well, dinner is served. This thing is ridiculous. As soon as I cracked open the bottle, the aroma is already flooding the room. It's literally out of control. I just know that this is going to live up to the expectations. Really nice, thick, creamy white head. Dissipating, now, but it was really right up to the top there. And just a really nice, creamy, off-white head. Big bubbles all around. It looks like, like whipped cream almost. They always have really nice heads on these beers from Maine. But this one is dissipating. It's a little bit higher alcohol. Now, the color on this is extremely a deep, dark, murky orange. I haven't seen one quite like this. It looks like a dark pineapple juice or orange juice. Very, very dark looking. You cannot see through this beer whatsoever. It's totally, totally opaque. And it's definitely going to be unfiltered, I would say. But yeah, just an absolutely, this is the kind of beer that I love to look at. It's very dark and, that golden color, and you can't see through it. You just know it's going to be so damn good. All right, you guys ready to get an aroma on this? Let's do it. Oh, wow. Holy shit. That is the deepest, dankest, most juicy tropical fruit smell I think I've ever smelled. Like the way that the beer looks thick and dark and dank is exactly how it smells. I mean, it is bursting at the seams with tropical fruit, pine, resin, everything that makes a beautiful, perfect, harmonious double IPA is in this aroma. I can't believe how they packed the tropical fruit and the resin and pine character together so well. It's just bursting is the best way to put it. Literally bursting. It's so deep and just, you can literally, it's the kind of beer that you smell it and you can already taste it. It's just that intense. It's that aromatic. It's that in your face. It's just pungent. Pineapple, grapefruit, orange, that orange peel kind of thing, like zesty orange peel. Pine needles, resin, just fresh hops. Wow, this is one of the best smelling double IPAs I've ever smelled. This might be better smelling than Heady Topper. I'm having a hard time picking out anything less than the best out of this beer. This is ultimately, right now, this is smelling probably like the best double IPA I've ever smelled. Finally, let's get a taste on dinner. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh my God. that is, I mean, that's it. That's as close to perfection. That is perfection. Wow. I can't remember the last time I've had a beer that wowed me like this as far as a double IPA goes. I mean, I've had the best. I'm speechless about this one, guys. I mean, my expectations were high. Wow. This definitely gives Heady Topper a run for its money. If not, blows it out of the water as far as I'm concerned right now. This is ridiculous. The amount of hops that are packed into this beer is very reminiscent of Heady Topper, like that just really, intense, pungent hop blast all throughout your palate as you're drinking it, as you're swishing it around your mouth. It's just an assault. There are some similarities, I think, to the Heady Topper, but this has a cleanness to it, a crispness to it, even throughout all the pungent hops and flavors going on. Heady Topper, I feel like the malts are a little bit more in that. This is a little bit drier, a little bit it's just so damn good. So right up front when you take your sip, you get a nice hit of a little bit of sweetness, like that pineapple sweetness, orange juice kind of thing. Immediately, you get just attacked with a salt of hops, just crushing your palate. I mean, it's unbelievable. But the amazing thing is, of course, you have to have some balance, right? Otherwise, it would be just a hop bomb mess. So immediately, you get that sweetness, you get that intense hop overload on your tongue. But then in that, you're getting all the juicy and piney characteristics from the aroma into the taste from the hops. So the balance is there because you're getting the juicy flavors like the pineapple, like the grapefruit, all the citrus fruits, that lemon rind, kind of orange rind kind of thing going on. And then when you swallow, it's a treat. It's just like you drank juice, and then you have this delicious, like, bitter hop bite going on, and it just lingers and lingers and lingers. But it's not an offensive bitter aftertaste like some IPAs do. It's a sweet, very strong, drying bitterness that just makes you want another sip immediately after you swallow. As the beer's warming, you take more sips, the sweetness kind of carries throughout. It's not just up front anymore. I still just don't find a lot of malt in this, which I love. I mean, it's there, but it's just enough to support and kind of back up that intense hop assault on your palate. You know what I mean? It's just enough sweetness. It balances so well with the tropical fruit flavors, the citrus flavors. The pine and resin character in this is incredible, and it plays off of those citrus and tropical fruit notes so well. The beer has a creamy, perfectly creamy, medium body to it. The mouthfeel on this thing is incredible, and it drinks so easily. I mean, this is the kind of beer that I always say, when it's up to this level, that you don't, remember that you're drinking beer. It could be something entirely different. It's like something outside of the realm of a beer. It's just above and beyond. And this is one of those beers that makes you just go, wow, and you forget what you're drinking. It's just, it's next level. It's world class. Nothing comes close to it, really, aside from Heady Topper, in my opinion. I'm putting these two together. I have not had anything close to this aside from Heady Topper before. The carbonation on this thing, too, is just, they nailed it. It's pretty low. It's just enough to move it across your palate, but the biting hop, flavor the whole way through kind of acts almost like a carbonation. It feels like it's biting at your tongue as a carbonation kind of would, but I get the feeling this is actually pretty lowly carbonated, and they're letting the hops kind of do the work. It just kind of washes over your palate, that creaminess, get all that juiciness. You don't want too much carbonation there, so they definitely did a good job kind of keeping it on the lower side, so you just get all the flavors. This definitely lived up to, if not exceeded. I think it exceeded my expectations, and my expectations for this were like through the roof. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone through the effort to get the trade together and go for this. I just had a feeling it would be something special. I had a feeling since I heard about it so long ago, they probably spent a lot of time, investing in getting this right before they released it and made a big deal about it. Brewery only, one time only, and they absolutely did. Easily the best beer they've ever made. Easily way better than Lunch even. I mean, you can't even, touch that compared to this. Unfortunately, it's sad that this is a one-time thing. Maybe they'll do it again down the road. It might have to be different hops, but I assume that sometime maybe down the road they might do this, maybe under a different name. But, it is unfortunate that it's a one-time thing and not many people are going to get to try it. But with like a lot of limited releases, that is the way it goes. If you guys can trade for this, I mean, if you haven't already, do it now. I'm going to get this review up as soon as I can, so hopefully it'll still be up when you guys can maybe have a shot at getting a bottle or having a friend open one with you if you're, lucky enough to have somebody that got one or whatever. But I really, really want you guys to be able to try this because it's one of those beers that you need to try because you will remember it. You will not forget this. This is kind of like when you have your first heady topper, your first beer that just makes you like think above and beyond how good it could be. And this is one of those examples that's perfectly done. I'm speechless. I'm blown away. Alright guys, so it's time for ratings. I think you know where I'm going with this. Just so you know, in comparison, Lunch has a 97 overall on BeerAdvocate, and that's with over 2,000 reviews. Like I said, it's in the top 15 IPAs, single IPAs on BeerAdvocate. Over 2,000 reviews now, it's a 97. This beer only has 12 reviews at the time I'm filming this, and it is a 95, but of course that's scaled down. If you actually look at the number on the side, 4.74, I think it is, something like that, and Heady Topper is at 4.73. What I'm saying is if this beer was mass-produced enough that people could get their hands on it, this very well may be a higher rated beer than even Heady Topper after all is said and done. I would love to see how many reviews this gets out of it because I don't even know how many bottles they even made of it or how many people got to try it, so it'll be very interesting to see once everyone drinks it where the beer falls as far as the ratings are concerned. I know ratings aren't everything. Obviously that's totally subjective, and hyped beers tend to get rated higher than others, I know that. But this is one of the examples that is absolutely deserving of the hype. It's absolutely deserving of the rating. This is, and I'm not kidding you, I would say this is the best double IPA I've ever had. I'm going to put it out there. I will put this up to any double IPA in the world, and I'm so thankful to get to try it. So it's 100, obviously, and I assume that after enough ratings come in, this will be 100 as well on BeerAdvocate. So thanks for watching, guys, this very, very epic review. I don't get excited like this too often, and I'm really, thank you for watching, especially not for double IPAs. It is just so hard these days to make an impressive double IPA that you haven't had before, especially if you're a beer geek and you know what some of the best in the world already taste like. It's very difficult to improve on that or make something that makes you go wow, like it's your first time having something again. And this is just that kind of beer. I hope you guys get to try it. If not, hopefully they'll make something like it in the future. But with all that being said, guys, 100 from me, one of the best beers I've ever had, definitely the best double IPA I've ever had. And if you did have it, please let me know what you think of it. I'm very curious if you agree with me, disagree with me, whatever. But, I can definitely put this up there with the best, and I think it is the best. So, thanks for watching. Remember to comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next beer review, guys. Thanks. Cheers.